we are a working ecosystems of microbes essentially. Like we live among microorganisms. In our system, we have like over 60 trillion bacterial cells, over 380 trillion viral cells in our system, tons of fungi and parasites in our system. They are all helping and shaping our future through a new paradigm we now call the gut microbiome. So if you believe that these microorganisms are even more than the number of cells in your body, like bacteria, for example, we have over maybe 6 trillion to 10 trillion bacterial cells. Do you understand? In comparison to your human cells, which is about like 10 times less than 10 times less than the bacterial cells. Good morning and welcome to another insightful episode of the Health Enthusiast Podcast. As usual, we go beyond the normal narratives on symptoms and solutions, diving deep into the root causes of infectious diseases, or with sample opinions of top specialists, spanning healthcare, academia, industry, and even banking. Today we have these exceptional guests. They are public figures in the academia, and I just want to have a little conversation with them. They are the ones that can easily approach. They are the ones that can say academic sense and nonsense to all the time. So it's a pleasure to have you guys here, please.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's fine. So the question is that, do you believe in the trueness of plant exhibiting an antimicrobial properties? Do you believe in the trueness of plant exhibiting an antimicrobial properties?
Thank you very much. And thank you for inviting us to this wonderful interview. Yes, we do. And we, as a pharmacologist, what we normally do is that when we have plant that we want to assess for antimicrobial property, there are some properties that they also have that we look out for, that will make them to have these antimicrobial properties. Doing the phytochemical screening of this plant, maybe saying that this plant has a flavonoid, triterpenes, carbohydrate, all those ones. When you have been able to get all those phytochemical constituents of the plant, you now trying as much as possible to see if these phytochemical constituents are the one exhibiting the antimicrobial property. Especially in some of our work, there is what we refer to as minimum inhibition concentration that we normally do in most of these plants. And if you have been able to get the minimum inhibition concentration of each of these plants that is being exhibited, then you will say that this plant has antimicrobial property. Thank you.
Aisha, Professor Aisha, what's your take on that?
My take on that, mostly we used to have a lot of proposals from the local people. It's not just by chance that we claim that the medicinal plants have antimicrobial property. There are a lot of folkloric claim around from the community. People are making mention of the history of use of certain medicinal plants to possess that antimicrobial property. Like you go and you have seen that severally people have been treating severe cough. Medicinal plants being used to treat whooping coughs, to treat malaria, and to treat certain skin diseases, which we consider all those to be infectious, even in the treatment of all these gonorrhea and other vulnerable diseases. So those medicinal plants, they are the same plants that when they have a history of use from our own community and locality, that we now take into the laboratory and try to establish and establish and explore in order to assist us in validating that folkloric claim from our locality. And just like my colleague mentioned, Dr. Shahidu Raji Aziz, that it is based on now first we will extract that particular medicinal plant and we test them to ascertain the presence of the secondary metabolites in this medicinal plant. And from there, it gives us an idea because there are a lot of mention in the literature that mention secondary metabolites, those phytoconstituents that he was giving examples like the tannins, flavonoids, phytoplasts, and co, have been proven or have been mentioned to possess antimicrobial activity. So with the establishment of the antimicrobial activity in the laboratory, that will ascertain the folkloric claim of those medicinal plants having antimicrobial, or we can use them in the management of infection in our own locality.
All right, thank you very much. You all have spoken well.